from the Innkeeper. Greetings, valued guest. I know you're here for breakfast, but I'm afraid it's just going to be a few minutes late. See, the inn just opened a new branch in Mexico, and I need to get a hold of the Innkeeper there just to see what he's up to. I think the inn has been doing very, very well. A lot of the same amenities are being offered there as they are here. Excuse me for a second.
Hello.
Oh, yes, is this Innkeeper Poncho?
Yes, of course, this is him. What can I do for you?
Ah, yes, this is Innkeeper Vase Odin from the Twisted Tentacle Inn. Just checking in to see how things are going over there, making sure everything's all right. What are you all currently up to right now?
Oh, it's that guy. Okay. We're preparing for a kid's birthday party. Making the piñata out of his father. Just making the piñata for him.
Oh, excellent. I love hearing about that. You see, we're very family friendly here at the inn. Well, keep up the good work, Poncho.
Oh, okay, no problem, okay? I'll let you know how it goes. Over and out, okay? Oye, Sosa!
Poncho, you don't say
Captain,
over and
man.
out on a phone call. Oh, I wish I could be down there in the Mexican inn. Mostly so I could see the human piñata hanging from his neck. I can't wait to see that kid see his own father. Oh, that innkeeper. I'm so glad I hired him. He's such a practical joker. Anyways, you're in for a very special treat in tonight's tale called The Untamed Wilds.
We will be running through the entire Forgotten Age campaign using only mystics, running through most of the scenarios in pairs, but some will have exceptions. We will be using the all-purple all-the-time decks created by some of the best content creators on the internet for Arkham Horror, the card game. The decks will be modified only as they gain experience points, but they will be played as they were made. The teams for each individual scenario will be selected based on what I feel would be the most synergistic pairs for that particular scenario. If you would like to know more about each of the decks used for this campaign, I will link the decks below for ArkhamDB, as well as their content creators' podcast or video regarding that deck. Tuesday, June 2nd, 1925. There will be no rest for us this summer, it seems. Today I met with Harlan Ernstone, a historical theorist at Miskatonic University and an old friend of mine. He'd said he had a job offer for me, but frankly, I didn't know what to expect. Harlan introduced me to an associate of his, Alejandro Vela, a distinguished historian from across the southern border. Mr. Vela is a graduate of a prestigious university in Mexico City and has spent many years researching the Aztec Empire. He claims that he has found evidence regarding of the existence of an unheard of Aztec city-state called the Esli. His strange and unprecedented findings were not accepted by the university, and he's become a pariah among his peers. Alejandro came to Arkham to seek funding for an expedition into the rainforest of southern Mexico, where he believes that the ruins of Esli, Al Tepol, lie undiscovered. His description of the city-state's origins defies modern understanding of Mesoamerican history. Despite this, or knowing my old friend because of these, Harlan is enthralled by Alejandro's discoveries. Miskatonic University has agreed to fund the expedition, albeit meagerly, and Harlan wants me to go along for some spiritual guidance. The way I see it, there's a good chance we're looking for something that doesn't even exist, but if there's even a slight chance these Esli people existed, the historical significance would be profound. We debated the issue for some time, but in the end we accepted Alejandro's offer. Although I find a lot of this to be hocus pocus, an African shaman named Akachi Onyele approached me regarding this and urged me to help her find this ancient city. I have contacted some other investigators, some of which are friends of mine, to help us in this expedition. Hopefully we find what we are looking for. Preparations are underway, and we should be setting off by the end of the month. With any luck, we'll have this journal filled with all manner of interesting discoveries. If not, perhaps it'll be a nice wedge to place beneath Harlan's lopsided desk. Sunday, June 28th, 1925. It's been a hell of a day. We just set up camp along the northern border of the rainforest where Alejandro believes the Esli once dwelled. The jungle here is dense and untamed. The sky hides above the tree cover, but I can tell from the crisp breeze that the storm clouds are brewing overhead. The dangers of our expedition have been explained to us many times. We are hundreds of miles away from any sign of civilization. Nobody in modern times has yet to pierce the heart of these wilds. Until now, nobody has had reason to try. After all, it wouldn't make sense to find Aztec ruins in the region of Mexico. And yet here we are, looking for ruins that may not exist in a place where by all accounts they should not. Already one of our surveyors has fallen ill, and another has been bitten by a viper. I'm starting to think the rainforest doesn't want us here. If this luck persists, ours will be the shortest expedition in the Miskatonic University's history. Tonight we rest. Tomorrow we venture onto uncharted wilds.
Expedition into the wild. The team's expedition has ventured far into the rainforests of southern Mexico in search of a forgotten Aztec city-state. What will they find when they head deeper into the untamed jungle? Today, they depart from their camp in order to find the ruins Alejandro seeks. That is, if they even exist.
So the first thing we're going to do is whip out some weaknesses for our intrepid party of mystics. We'll start with Jim Culver, then Father Mateo, Agnes, Akachi, and Marie. So Jim gets... Oh boy. Doomed. That's not a good start. Oh, internal injury for Mateo. Chronophobia for Agnes. A psychosis and paranoia. Okay. An interesting set of weaknesses for our mystics. We'll see how those play out when the campaign continues. So all 5 mystics are in Mexico right now. Father Mateo and Jim Culver are going to be leaving the camp so they can go exploring and looking for these ancient ruins. They've taken some supplies. Mateo has the provisions, medicine, blanket, and a compass, and Culver has the provisions, medicine, blanket, and binoculars. Now, because of the way that we'll be alternating some of these investigators, we're going to be doing the supplies a little bit different, and I'll go into more detail on that when the time comes. But for right now, this is how it's going to go for this first scenario. The Forgotten Age is a very difficult campaign, and so far, and I don't think that's going to change. The Untamed Wilds being the first scenario, you would think it'd be a little bit more lenient, but it is not. It is very rough, very difficult from the very beginning. We have a large disadvantage because we've built these decks to make a party of 4 mystics, and we've done them blindly as well. So it's going to be... It's probably going to be very difficult for these guys to synergize properly because they are meant for a party of 4. So these will definitely work better in 4, but doing a 4-handed solo is going to be nearly impossible for me to do. The videos would take too long to edit. So we're just going to do them in pairs and see how it goes. If we lose every scenario, well, so be it. I'm sure we'll have fun doing it anyways. And this scenario is extremely difficult. There's some big tests, and there are a ridiculous amount of damage that the encounter deck dishes out. The camp is abuzz with both excitement and dread. Some members of the expedition are setting up additional canvas tents for supplies, while others are huddled around an incomplete map of the northern edge of the rainforest. Father Mateo and Jim Culver begin at the expedition camp. Has 1 shroud, 0 clues, and you can use a map to help explore. Neither of the two mystics has taken a map with them, so they are on their own in terms of that. The expedition has staked its claim on the jungle, and the jungle doesn't seem too happy about it. Okay. Sounds exciting. So, we're going to draw opening hands, and then we will go from there. Oh, that's not good. Okay. And what we're looking for is definitely something to fight with, which we got a shriveling, so that's very good, and something to investigate with. And from there, whatever happens, happens. I obviously have looked at all the decks since I had to build them, so I do know what to kind of expect from these decks. The plan is we're going to be using our Ward of Protection for the Ancient Evils. So we'll hold off Ward of Protection no matter how rough the encounter card seems. We're going to hold on to that Ward of Protection and use it for our Ancient Evils, because they will really mess you up in this one. Okay, so now that we've got our opening hands, we will go ahead and begin. Father Mateo and Jim Culver are going off on their little expedition from the camp. Marie and Agnes and Akachi are staying at the camp for now. So Father Mateo prepares his mental acuity for shriveling and lays that down, getting it ready in case anything comes out of the jungle unexpectedly, attacking him and Jim Culver. And in addition, so we'll go ahead and add 4 charges to that. Okay. And in addition to that, let's go ahead and just explore. And that's good enough. So he explores and finds a rope bridge. 2 shroud, 1 clue. When you attempt to explore at rope bridge, you got to test agility of 2. If you fail, cancel the exploration, take 2 damage, lose all your action. Okay, so we're not going to be exploring from the rope bridge. Father Mateo crosses off the expedition camp and finds a rope bridge. Oye, him. Jim, ven para acá. So he moves on over to the rope bridge. We'll go ahead and use these connectors from Sick Dave. They're pretty awesome. They look great. I'm really happy about them. We'll add the 2 clues to the location. And, I don't think investigating hurts us, just exploring. Okay. So that's 2 actions down. And I think for Mateo, we'll just go ahead and play Clarity of Mind. We're probably not going to need this until way later, but it's good to have it just in case I do get something where I can use the charges for something else, or if I have to get rid of an asset, then this will be a good one to just get rid of. Alright, and that is Mateo's turn. Jim, come find me in the rope bridge. So Jim is now going to bring out his flashlight, because it does get dark in the jungle. The trees cover up the sunlight. So he brings out the flashlight to help him find some clues, and he heads on over to meet up with Father Mateo at the rope bridge. Father Mateo, I see some stuff here. Let me use my flashlight. No, I'm not going to need my flashlight. Magnifying glass is what I'll need. So he plays a magnifying glass to help him investigate the rope bridge, which is going to give him a 4 versus 2. And let's pull from the bag. The bag is not very punishing early in the scenario, but later it just gets brutal. 0, nice. Okay. So we'll get a clue. And that is Jim's turn. So we will now flip these guys over, get our card, and get a resource. Ooh, Mateo brought a knife with him. Uh-oh. And gain our resource. We'll go ahead and put Doom on the agenda. And now for our first encounter card. Oh my god. There we go. Ancient Evils. Place 1 Doom on the current agenda, which can cause it to advance. dark forces stir against you. Okay, so Jim got a ward of protection, but not Mateo, so that hits us. And then arrows from the trees. Take 1 damage plus 1 for each ally you control. You're caught in a volley of obsidian-tipped arrows fired by an unseen assailant. A dire warning to leave this place at once. So Mateo and Jim are on the bridge, and Jim gets hit by an arrow. Just volley of arrows comes from the trees, and one hits him. Wow. Already starting with damage on the first turn. Okay, so Mateo will move back to the expedition camp. Guys, this is dangerous. We have to move very quickly. So he'll go ahead and explore again. And that does not connect, so we'll do it again. And Lost in the Wilds. Father Mateo gets lost. Test 3 willpower. If you fail, take 1 horror for each point you fail by. Jeez. Okay, and then add lost to the threat area, and then you can't explore or move. Jeez, man. Well, our willpower is high, so I think we're going to be okay here. Almost all the tokens are worth 0 right now, so we stand a chance. It's going to be 4 versus 3. And we pull... Nice! Elder Sign. Alright, too bad it wasted on that, but it's an auto success. So we get to pick. We can either get an extra turn, or... Not an extra turn, an extra move. But we'll do a draw card and gain a resource. We don't have much else to do with our turns, and drawing cards in this deck is helpful. So we'll go ahead and get the next one. And it looks like a snake bite. So test 3 agility. If you fail, you take 5 damage to an ally, or take 1 direct damage and you're poisoned. Okay. So the test is a 3 versus 3. We'll commit Defiance. This will definitely help us. It'll give us 1 more point, and then we can pick a Chaos token that'll cancel. And we'll pick this one because that's the only one right now that's worth anything minus. So we'll test 4 versus 3, and Chaos Bag says services. Oh, autofail. So we'll use Mateo's special ability, convert it to a pass, and we'll take the extra turn. So we'll go ahead and explore again. I don't think too many of those autofails are going to come out, so it's better to just use it just in case no more come out. And Mateo finds a Path of Thorns. After you fail skill test while investigating, take 1 damage. After you explore while Path of Thorns, if it wasn't successful, take 1 damage. Okay, 3 shad, 2 clues. That's a very garbage location. Mateo, what are you getting yourself into? Hey, Jim, come on over here. Let me show you what I found, okay? So he moves in and ends his turn at the Path of Thorns. Guard clues in. And now it is Jim's turn. So Jim's going to finish getting this clue. It's going to be a 4 versus a 2. And that's a -2. That's good enough. So we get that final clue. And now we can move out of this road bridge and move into this Path of Thorns. What's it you want to show me, Mateo? Mateo gets a flashlight. Teamwork. Cool. Mateo's hiding things from Culver. He has a knife and a flashlight in his robes. Okay. And we'll go ahead and add a doom to the agenda. This agenda is going to move very quickly. No more ancient... ancient evils. And again, Mateo does not have a ward of protection, which means that it goes through. And there's another doom on the agenda. We've just lost 2 turns in the very beginning of this scenario. Incredible. And Jim pulls an Esley Guardian. Spawn an empty location, alert and aloof. When enemies attack during the enemy phase, if it's ready and unengaged, it attacks each investigator at a connecting location. And it's 4 combat, 2 health, 2 evade. We'll put him on the rope bridge. That's who was shooting the arrows earlier. Looks like that's the guy that was hidden. He won't be a problem just yet. So I think we're going to be fine. Alright, so Mateo will move and explore right from the expedition camp. And it looks like it's connected. So it's the River Canyon, 4 shroud, 1 clue. You can use an action to heal damage from an investigator if you have a canteen, which we don't. The river is deeper than it appears. Ripples along its surface obscure the creatures that lie within. Water cascades into the river from above, causing a strong, steady current. Okay, I like this place better than the Thorns, but the issue is it's connected to all 3 of these locations. So if we move in there, this Esley Guardian will be taking pot shots at us during the enemy phase. So we have to be very careful where we end our turns. We're going to have to strategize moving, investigating, and moving out of there. Yeah, because this guy's just going to keep shooting us, and it'll add up very quickly. So we'll lay our 2 clues down, and Mateo will move in there because he explores, so you get to move in for free. And then he will use an action to move to... Yeah, he'll move in back to the rope bridge. I know I saw someone there. Let me go check it out. Jim is going to investigate this path of thorns. He's going to use his flashlight so he doesn't get stabbed. 4 versus 1. And if he fails, he'll take damage. So he needs to pass these tests and get out of there. So that's a -1. That's good enough. So we get another clue. Moving along. So 4 versus 1. So here we go. Come on. If we pass this. Nice. All right. Elder Sign. So 4 clues for Jim. We just need 2 more to advance the act deck. So far, so good. And we got 2 clues right there in the River Canyon. Alright, so Jim is going to use his last action to play Emergency Cash and get some resources. He had some secrets of his own. The reason I did that, if I move into any location from here, the Guardian's going to attack me. So I might as well just take advantage of that and get the extra resources from the Emergency Cash. Alright, so... Oh, and the Esley Guardian doesn't attack Mateo if he's in the same location because he's aloof. He only hits people that are in connecting locations. Ooh, Codex of Ages. And prayer beads. Or Holy Rosary, sorry. Very nice. Okay. Now time for Doom on the agenda. 1 more Doom and this thing's going to move. If we get another Ancient Evils, this thing will flip. Lost in the Wilds, okay? Again, Mateo just keeps getting lost. He's so bad, he should have taken the map. And he does have a compass, so I don't understand how he keeps getting lost. So we'll test 4 versus 3. And it is a Skull token, which is a 0 right now, so that's good enough. Jim, Overgrowth. Ooh, okay, you cannot explore at attached location, and you have to test combat or intellect to remove. So, the Path of Thorns has now, the plants have mysteriously grown so unwieldy that you can't move from there, you can't explore from there. So, Jim's going to just leave that. I don't think we want to explore from there anyways, because we'll take damage if we fail, which is very likely right now. Not a big deal. I'm glad we got that right now. So Mateo will then bring out his Codex of Ages and seal that Elder Sign token. He'll get a +1 to his willpower while there's a token sealed under there. So basically it gives us the ability to auto-succeed on a test that we want to auto-succeed on. And I know what I'm going to use it on. So hopefully nothing nasty comes out that'll force me to use it, because this is going to be used in just a bit. All right. And now he'll gain a resource so that we can go ahead and play the other thing that he was hiding from Gem, the Spirit Athame. During a skill test on a spell card, you can exhaust it and get +2 value to the skill test. And you can also use it to fight and get +2 to your combat. It doesn't do extra damage, but Mateo has a combat of 2, so it would boost him to a 4 for 1 attack. Definitely can come in handy so he doesn't have to waste his shrivelings. And that ends Mateo's turn. So now it's Jim's turn, and he will go into the river canyon to explore it. So let's go ahead and do that. And it's a shroud of 4. We'll use this flashlight at the river canyon. That's the final charge. So it's going to be 4 versus 2. And the chaos bag says -3. Darn. Okay, that's not good enough. We'll do it again and go ahead and 4 versus 4. We've already fallen behind because of those 2 ancient evils. I feel like we're wasting more time than we need to. But there's really not much we can do about it. Yeah, so let's see. Please get it. Please get it. It's a 0. Okay, cool. So we get the clue. Just one more. That ends the turn. And the arrow will hit Jim. Even though Mateo's right there, he can't stop it. His guardian shoots an arrow at Jim into the canyon from the bridge. Ah, Mateo. Help me. I'm trying to look for him, but I don't see him. Ooh, another shriveling. Good. Just in case the other one runs out. Perception. Okay, this will help us get this final clue. Perfect. Good. Okay. But unfortunately, this agenda is going to flip. Already, man. This is like the 3rd turn. Those ancient evils, man, they're just deceptively brutal. After hours of exploration and futile attempts to map out the wilds, you're convinced something is watching your progress, stalking your every move. The shapes of large serpentine creatures slither into the brush all around you. You try to back away, but the creatures have you completely surrounded, hissing at you from all sides. Suddenly, several shapes emerge from the brush, human-sized creatures with the bodies of serpents and arms wielding spears and jagged knives. The creatures are savage, attacking you fiercely. Somehow you manage to flee to safety through the sensation that you are being watched remains. Although you survive the encounter, you are confronted with the dark reality. This place is home to creatures beyond your understanding. Okay, so we have to now make a willpower test. Again, it is our forte, so we should be okay with these. If we fail the willpower test, we will be poisoned. We also shuffle in these very special creatures into the encounter deck, and they are the Servants of Yig. And then there's also some kind of like a curse that you can get. So shuffle those in, and then we will do our willpower test, which we need to pass. Being poisoned is not good at all. This scenario specifically really, really wants to poison you. And it's for a reason, because then it can really kill you nasty style. So Mateo will go first. And our will, we're gonna play Dark Prophecy. This will up our chances, I think. So we get to pull 5 tokens and pick one with a special symbol on it. Skulls are with 0, and there are more. There's only one Elder thing, so I think 4 versus 3 should be a safe test here. So let's go ahead and pull our 5 tokens. 1, 2, 3. Okay, there's the elder thing. 4. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. What are the chances? Okay. I know what the chances are. Just you don't have to post it in the comments or anything. So, darn. Mateo is poisoned. The little confrontation with these guys left Mateo poisoned. No effect right now, but now the elder thing becomes an auto fail. Jim's turn. 4 versus 3. Okay. And does he have any cards he can commit? Yeah, I don't want him to be poisoned. So, Unexpected Courage. 2 wild icons, so that will boost his willpower to 6 versus 3. It's very respectable. And he pulls a -3, and that is exactly the number needed. So Jim avoids his fate of being poisoned, but he's been hit by 2 arrows. What was once excitement has turned to dread. This place is far deadlier than you could have imagined. It is as though the jungle itself wants you out. And it's a threshold of 9. So now the clock is ticking, because that's the final agenda. Once that hits, I think you lose, so we need to move. And the first encounter card is a Brute of Yig. It's a hunter, gets +1 fight for each vengeance point. There are none. Serpentine creature with scaled arms, bearing primitive armor and weaponry. 2 fight, 3 health, and 2 evade. Oh my god, another Ancient Evils. You gotta be kidding me. But luckily Jim saved his water protection. Finally, it goes to Jim, so he can use his water protection. And we're going to play water protection to cancel that Ancient Evils. Jim will take a horror, but much better than having another Doom on the agenda. Man, if this is how this is going to play out, we probably don't stand a chance at this point. Man, 3 Ancient Evils in like 5 rounds, 4 or 5 rounds. That's ridiculous. Okay, so we survived that. That was pretty crazy. Let's now go for Jim will go first. We need to get this last clue so we can advance the act deck. So 4 versus 4. We'll commit a perception, which will give us 2 more intellect. That will give us a 6 versus 4. And we get a -2, number needed. We get the final clue, and we can now advance the act at the end of the round. So Jim will move in so he doesn't get hit by another arrow. And he has 1 extra turn, which, again, this is like the 2nd or 3rd time this scenario already. I have nothing to do with that turn, so I think we'll just play Holy Rosary. Gives a +1 to willpower and an extra 2 sanity, so that's good. A little cushion there. Might as well if we had the turn to spare. Although with the agenda moving so fast, I really wish I didn't have to do this. Okay, and now Father Mateo, he needs to kill this stupid snake thing. So we're going to shrivel it with the power of Christ. And we'll use our Spirit Athame to boost that. Actually, let's not do that. Let's just shrivel him. And it's going to be a 4 versus 3. So the bag says skull. That's a 0. That's good. So he gets shriveled twice. Or he gets 2 damage, sorry. Stay back. And it's going to be a 4 versus 3 as he stabs it with the Spirit Athame. And that is nice. Okay, so he kills it. He stabs it to death. You go, Mateo. He is a blasphemy. He deserved to die. Alright. So now that we've killed him, we'll just draw a card. Nice. Water protection. Much needed. I wish I would have had it earlier. And the turn ends, and we get to advance the act. First, we get to draw our cards, so we don't forget to do that. And okay, and okay, not bad. Gain our resource. All right, so round ends, and the act moves because we have enough clues for it to advance. So this is going to be a pretty long interlude between the act, because then we still have to do the mythos phase. As you explore the dense jungle, you're suddenly confronted by several natives. At first glance, they appear to be warriors of an Aztec city-state, perhaps even the one you seek. But how could they have survived undiscovered for this long? Even with Alejandro's notes, you're barely able to translate what the warriors say, only that they call you intruder and implore you to leave the jungle at once. You try to explain that you're searching for the Esli, which causes them to murmur and debate among themselves. Finally, one of them speaks to you in rudimentary Spanish. Itaca will know what to do with you, intruder. He blows on a decorated de ocarina, producing a shrill note that echoes throughout the jungle. The warriors depart as suddenly as they arrived. Now we have to put Itaca into play at Mateo's location. And we have to shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. Okay. And this is a difficult confrontation with Itaca, from what I remember. She is very, very aggressive. And here she is. So she is a 5 fight, 4 health, 4 evade, alert, and retaliate. You can parlay, test 4 intellect to convince her that you're not her enemy. If you succeed, put a clue on her. If you fail, if she's ready, she attacks you. So she attacks you like if you fail anything. If you fail the parlay, if you fail evading her, or if you fail attacking her, she hits you for 2 damage, which is really high. I don't trust them, Alejandro says as soon as the natives are out of earshot. They mean to kill us, not aid us. If you think this Itaca is going to help us find the ruins, be my guest, but I refuse to follow where she leads. You can feel the discomfort and confusion in Alejandro's voice. You can attempt to speak with Itaca, or you can take Alejandro's advice and fight your way to the ruins you seek. Okay, so we can either try to kill her, which at this point I don't think we're well equipped to do that effectively without getting killed, or we can parlay, which I think we're much better equipped for that. And remember when I saved my token? Well, it's for this specific scenario. So I have a plan, and we're going to parlay with her. So first, though, we're going to draw our encounter, which we get a Pit Viper. They're so annoying. 3 fight, 1 health, 3 evade. If they hit you, you're poisoned. And for Jim, we pull Curse of Yig. Goes into his play area, -1 fight, -1 health, and contests 2 willpower to get rid of it. Okay. That's not terrible for right now. I mean, the -1 health definitely doesn't feel good, but the most pressing matter is Itaca. And now that we've survived the Mythos phase, we can confidently do what we need to do. And Jim will go first. So Jim will parlay. It's going to be a 4 versus 4. Oh no, 3 versus 4. Sorry. That's only when investigating. We'll use Perception, which will give us 2 more intellect icons. And if we succeed, we draw a card. So that's going to be 5 versus 4. The odds are decent, but if we fail, we'll take 2 damage. So let's not... Okay. Mateo's going to commit Quantum Flux for its wild icon. It's going to make it a 6. 6 versus 4. And it's a skull, so that's a success. Very nice. 1 clue to Itaca. Please, listen to us. And then he draws a card. Due to perception. Good. Alright, so now what we'll do is we'll spend 4 resources and bring out Mylan Christopher. Which, very, very dumb of me. I should have done this first to boost my intellect so that my skill would have been a little bit higher. But it is what it is. We succeeded. It's no big deal. But just so you know, that was a bad play. And we'll draw a card as our final act. We'll move here. Yep. We're going to move to the cannon. Because if we succeed, which we will, then this dude's not going to attack us next round. So I think it's better that we move now. Let's get some of these out of the way. Yeah. Flashlight's empty, so we can just put that behind the magnifying glass. Okay. Put the ultimate here. Move everything a little closer. Okay. Mateo's gonna try and talk some sense into her, and we will use our codex. Actually, let's see if we have to use it. We do have a card that'll let us know what our next pull is. So, Premonition, we're going to use this first. Basically, we get to seal a token, and the next time we pull a token, it's the one that's sealed on there is the one that we have to use. So basically, just lets us see what token we're pulling next. This might help us save the auto success. Oh, it's an elder thing. That's an auto fail because we're poisoned. Okay, so I guess we are going to end up using our thing because that will make us fail that and take 2 damage. So what we'll do is we're going to go ahead and just try and evade this guy. This snake guy. Oh, we tried to evade you. Oh, we failed. Oh, no. So we'll go ahead and use this on Itaca to parley with her. That's an auto success. Boom. Itaca, please listen to me. We're trying to tell you something, okay? She goes to the victory display, and this gets to move. All right. Interesting. You are not simply here to shed blood, Itaca says, with a spark of wonder in her voice, and you're stunned to hear her speaking in perfect English. So we get to shuffle the ruin locations into the exploration deck, and we have to add a cultist token to the bag. So the bag just got a little tougher for us. And now, search for the ruins. If I cannot dissuade you, so be it. Follow me, and I will lead you to the place you seek. But heed my warning. Disturb the ruins at your own risk. They have remained hidden for a reason. Alejandro warily keeps a safe distance from Itaca as she shows you the way. So Etzli Guardians cannot attack us anymore, and they can't be attacked, and arrows from the trees don't do anything to us. Woohoo! So this is a big, big plus for us. I mean, we're not by any means, moving along quickly or anything, but at least this certainly helps. And we'll go ahead and shuffle those ruin locations into the encounter deck, into the exploration deck. And then we will continue with Mateo's turn. But first, we have to add this token before we forget. It's going to be the cultist token. Goes in the bag. And what that one says, if you pull it, it's a -1 for each location in play. Maximum of -5, so pretty bad. Alright. So Mateo, I think, has 2 turns left now. He pulled the Elder Thing token, so he gets an extra turn. So we're going to just try and stab this thing with this. And we will play Dark Prophecy to pull 5 Chaos tokens and pick the best one, you know, the one that we prefer out of the special symbol ones. Last time it didn't work out so well for us. Hopefully it works out a little bit better this time. That's a skull. That's already better because there's no vengeance in the display, so. Okay. So -1, Elder Thing, 0, and -5. We'll get rid of those, and we keep the skull, which is a 0. So we kill this stupid snake. Get away from me. A snake. A snake. I kill it. The snake. So that ends Mateo's turn. So we had 2 actions left because we pulled that symbol. So now we each draw a card. Put a doom on the agenda, and we will draw our next encounter deck cards. Time is running short. We need to get going with this. Man, I swear those ancient evils, man. Oh no, Serpent from Yoth. While there's 1 or more vengeance points in the victory display, it gains Retaliate. 1 damage, 2 horror, a fight of 3, 5 health, and 3 evade. So there is 1 victory point, so he gets Retaliate. Oh my god. Killing this guy is worth a victory point, but I really wish we didn't have to waste, because it could possibly take an entire turn killing this guy. Oh my god, and Jim gets a Brood of Yig. And now we both have enemies engaged with us. So pretty much this turn is wasted just fighting these things. I can't see us beating these guys in less than a turn and being able to do anything productive. It's unfortunate because that leaves us with only 6 turns left. Mateo's going to shrivel this thing, and we are going to go for it. And we'll use our Spirit Athame so we can get that bonus. So it's going to be a 5 versus 3. And let's see. -1, that's good enough. So he takes 2 damage as you shall not pass. Do it again. 4 versus 3. And we get a skull, which -1. So that's good enough. He takes 2 more damage. And we also take a horror because we pulled the skull. If you pull a skull or any special token that's not the Elder Sign, you take a horror when you do shriveling, even if you succeed. So we'll do it again. 4 versus 3. And -2. That's not good enough. He retaliates. He's going to hit us. He's going to hit us for 1 damage, 2 horror. Ouch. And that ends Mateo's turn. So if we don't kill this thing this turn, if Jim doesn't have a way to kill it, it'll hit Mateo again for another 1 damage and 2 horror. This is bad. So Jim is going to do his Storm of Spirits. Basically, I can choose something to attack using my willpower, and it does 2 damage to everything in my location. So it's going to be a 5 versus a 2. 5 versus 2. And the Chaos Bag says +1. Nice. So good enough. We end up killing this thing. We're not killing this thing. We do 2 damage to it. We do 2 damage to this. But any leftover damage goes back to the original thing I attacked. So I do actually end up killing both of them, because that damage transfer is over. So, boom. Great spell. Storm of Spirits came in clutch right now. We get a victory point. We kill this other nasty thing. Cool. Jim has asked for help from the spirits. They've come swirling around and killed all these things. Mateo's just looking in awe because, you know, it's not very holy. Now 5 versus 2 to get rid of the Curse of Yig. 0, that's good enough. Okay. Got rid of that. And Jim will explore. And that's the Ruins of Vesley. They're not connected. Let me see. No. None of these locations get to it. Nope. We're gonna... That's a failed exploration. We'll explore again. Again. Okay, so this place is connected. That's the Serpent's Haven. Damn, I was really hoping for one of the ancient, but I don't think they're connected to this at all. So we'll just have to deal with this thing. Very unfortunate. We'll put it down here because it should be connected to both of these here. So even though there's overgrowth, you can still move in there. And it's got 2 clues. Actually, let me show it to you guys. Get everything moved here, and then we'll go ahead and just show you guys this location. So, Serpent's Haven, 2 shroud, 4 clues. Each serpent enemy gets +1 fight. After you investigate, if you're poisoned, you take a damage. It is a victory location. Definitely could use some more victory points. So that goes there. It's got its 4 clues. The 4 clues bugs me, but if you remember in the act, we just need 6 clues total when we get to the Ruins of Vesley. So if we get the 4 from here, that'll at least get us, you know, just from 2 away from winning. So it might be worthwhile. Alright. So now for the Mythos phase. The dreaded Mythos. In this scenario, man, things just come at you. It deal damage, they just hit you. Arrows from the trees. Well, lucky us. We are friends with Itaca, so we don't get hit by arrows from the trees because of the act deck. Lost in the Wilds. Again, Mateo keeps getting lost. He's so bad. He's so bad with directions. 5 versus 3. Actually, it was Jim who got lost this time. And let's see. 0. Nice. Okay, so he succeeds. He's not lost in the wilds after all. And that's the Mythos. That's good. That was not terribly bad at all. So Mateo is going to have to explore, and Jim is going to have to get these clues while Mateo tries to find these ruins. We're not doing terribly bad. It's the encounter deck has just screwed us in terms of moving the agenda and making us basically lose some turns because of the ancient evils. But we haven't been doing terribly bad, although the clock is ticking, and now I'm worried that we may not have enough time. But we'll see. Mateo goes first. He's going to move into the Serpent's Haven. He's poisoned, so anything he does here, he's going to take damage if he investigates or explores, but we have to. We got to do what we got to do. There's no way to get rid of poison. Let's actually go back and explore from here. And that is not connected. So next place. Low on supplies. You must decide. Choose one. Okay. Lose 2 resources, take damage, or discard an asset. trash. I guess we'll just discard the empty shriveling and the empty flashlight. Not a big deal. Do it again. Oh, God. Overgrowth. Attached to your location. Cannot explore the attached location unless you pass these tests. Whatever. At this point, I think those were the last treacheries in the exploration deck. So we're less likely to just keep taking damage if we explore from the Serpent's Haven. Let's shuffle these back in. And I think I'm just going to take a chance, move to the Serpent's Haven, and start exploring from here next turn. Jim's going to explore. He's not poisoned, so we'll go and not explore, investigate. And it's going to be a 5 versus 2. And he pulls a -1. Okay, good. He gets the first clue. 5 to go. And we're going to do it again. 5 versus 2. And it is a -2. That's another clue. We might do this. Okay, do it again. 5 versus 2. Let's do this. -1. Okay, sweet. Wow, we're really moving along with these clues. 3 down, 3 to go. We just got to find the ruins of Esley, and then we can win. And now we will draw our card and get a resource. Okay, Olive McBride. Emergency cash. I don't think we're going to need that. Okay. And now on to the Mythos phase. 4 Doom. 5 rounds left. First card, and it is Creeping Poison. Surge. Each investigator who's poisoned take 1 damage. Black veins crawled underneath their skin. Ugh. Mateo's poisoned. Oh, Jim, it hurts. Esley Guardian. And they are fine. We'll put them anywhere. They're not going to attack us. Because we're friends with Itaca now. Now Jim's pull, and he gets a Pit Viper. Okay. These guys are so annoying, these Pit Vipers. The fight of 3 makes them a little bit hard to hit, even though they have 1 health, and it's kind of annoying. Mateo will try and just skin this thing alive. They are not creatures from God. And we will use an unexpected courage to make sure the hit lands. So this will make it 6 versus 3. And we pull... Oh, God. Oh, I didn't think I'd see this again, this scenario. Okay. Ow, Mateo, you hit me. I'm sorry, Jim. I was trying to hit the snake, but it looks like, I moved out of the way and then I had to stab you, okay? So, we're not going to try that again. That was a terrible play. Well, it wasn't a bad play. It just was terrible, the way it panned out. Mateo will put on some nice clothes. There's nothing quite like the feeling of silk. He's in the jungle. He just stabbed his friend. He's going to go exploring, and he's going to dress real nice for it. We're going to get arrows from the trees, which doesn't do anything. We did take a damage, though, because we're poisoned, and we're exploring at the Serpent's Haven. So, now it's Jim's turn. Mateo, that was not nice. Okay. So, we've got one more clue to get here. We've got this stupid snake. I mean, we're going to have to kill... It's an even 3 versus 3, and skulls for Jim are still worth 0. So, if we commit teamwork, it's going to be a 4 versus 3. Should be decent odds. And we play... Oh, jeez, no way, man. All right. It's going to do it again. 3 versus 3. Even shot. Wow. And we get -5. Dude, this snake has proven to be quite a problem. 3 versus 3. Let's do this. Come on. Wow. Between two of us, and we couldn't kill this stupid 1 health snake. Okay. This is gonna attack Jim and poison him. So Jim is not poisoned. See what I mean? These snakes are so annoying. That fight of 3 makes them like... Even though they only have 1 health, the fight of 3 is just annoying. And then they poison you. And we have things to do. And we just literally wasted a round trying to kill this stupid snake. And we couldn't do it. Oh my god. Alright. Well, we need to get moving somehow. So if we have to take attacks of opportunity, so be it. And now we have another Mythos phase, which hopefully doesn't give us some more bad guys. Another Doom. That's 5. Lost in the Wilds. Yet again, Mateo. I just don't know. It all looks the same to me, okay? So, test. Jim's going to help him by committing Uncage the Soul for 2 will icons. 6 versus 3. It should be fairly simple. And we get... Oh. That's that's a -5. So that's a failure. Well, so much for simple. See, the Chaos Bag, it starts off pretty mild and then just gets worse as the scenario develops. And now every test we take is just going to be like a fighting, a big uphill battle, basically. And we take, this thing is brutal because now we can explore, which we needed to be doing. And Jim gets a snake bite. He has to test 3, and agility is not his forte. Wow, we are getting... we were doing decent, and now we're just getting brutalized here. Mateo is going to help him by using Ward of Protection, which... Oh, can't do it. Ward of Protection has to go to my own treachery, so... Jim's going to have to take this test. He'll commit Defiant Clothes for an agility icon 3 versus 3. And he pulls -1. Shoot. Okay. Well, he takes it. He takes the damage. And he is close to death now, all of a sudden. Snakes upon snakes. So Mateo's going to bring out a shriveling so that we can finally get rid of this stupid snake. It's got 4 charges again. Since Mateo cannot explore, we're just going to waste a turn, and at least we'll be able to kill the snake so Jim can do his investigation. So snake, it's going to be a 4... engage him actually, and then hit him. So we're gonna go 4 versus 3, and we're gonna commit a guts, so that we can make this a 6 versus 3. We gotta kill this thing this time. I mean, come on, this stupid snake has been ridiculous. And we pull. Oh, whoa. Oh, man. And I take a horror because of shriveling. Jeez. What's going on with this stupid bag at the end? Have some mercy. Well, that's Mateo's turn. Jim will just go straight shot, 3 versus 3. That's 3 versus 3. Okay. And he pulls. Nice. Finally. Jeez, man. It's about damn time. So, Snake is dead. And now we'll investigate. This is going to be a... let's see. Do we have anything? Alright. 5 versus 2. And we get a skull. Good. Okay. Ooh, I think this thing's finally turning around to our favor. So now we're at 4 clues. 2 more to go. And we have a few rounds. I think we may be... If we can find the ruins of Esley right now, we may be able to complete this. And both of us survive. We're very close to death, both of us. But... if we're both poisoned, so that what that means is we're going to take damage if we explore, if we fail from here. So he's going to explore. And good, cool. Temple of the Fang, +1 shout for each vengeance point in the victory display. Rising just over the tree canopy is a time-worn step pyramid of pale stone. A storm of hisses surrounds you from the trees. 2 shroud, 2 clues, victory 2. It's not bad, but that's not what we're looking for. I don't think we have time to diddle-daddle on these ancient locations, unfortunately. It would have been nice to get a ton of experience points from these things, because it's worth 2 XP. That's quite a bit with only 2 clues. But because he explored, he's gonna have to lose Christopher, and I guess that's fine. And that ends his turn. I don't think we're gonna be able to get these clues from here. We just don't have the time. So unless we get some awesome card or something that really helps. Okay, that's okay, I guess. And well, let's see what the Mythos phase has for us this time around. Mateo, low on supplies. Okay, so we have to pick 2 resources, 1 damage, or discard an asset. Let's go with resources. There we go. Oh, gem. Ancient evils. Gem. That's another doom. Oh, we are now on the cusp. Okay, now we can't waste time. We have to find this ruins of Esley and get the 2 clues we need. We may not even be able to get any experience points from the ruins themselves, because we just don't have time to get... Man. So Mateo's gonna try and find these ruins. Explore. He'll take a damage. And let's get... that's not good. That's not good. Final one. Ruins of Esley. If you fail skill test while investigating, draw top card of the encounter deck. Serpent statues carved from limestone surround the central temple, glaring at you ominously from afar. Ooh. And we want to go inside this thing? So, we found the ruins of Esley. We just got to get 2 clues. And we win. So Mateo moves in. And 4 clues on there. So I think we're not going to be able to get all 4 from this location. And then each time we fail, we have to draw from the encounter deck, which with our luck will be more Ancient Evils that we cannot afford to get. But we still have some actions left before the game ends, before the agenda flips. So we have enough actions to have the clues necessary to win. Jim will have to move 1, 2, and he's going to investigate. He'll draw a card. Holy Rosary. That ends the turn. I was hoping for a skill card to help me investigate or something with intellect pips. But I have 6 actions next turn with only 2 clues to get. It's going to be tight, but... Torn of Power, nice. Okay, so we'll be able to grab a clue easily with that. And... let's see what the Mythos face. So my plan now, if we get enemies, Mateo will engage them. Jim will then investigate and try to get 2 clues and win. So here we go. Oh, shnikey. Creeping Poison. We take a damage. Okay. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Well, there goes that plan, as Jim is dead. I don't think I have... and I can't afford to use my Word of Protection on him, because if another Ancient Evil comes out, I have to be able to counter that, or we lose. The Ancient Evils will make us lose anyway, so Jim has to die, I think. There's nothing to help him absorb this. Damn. Oh my god, just 1 damage. 1 damage. Stupid poison. So Jim succumbs to his poison and is knocked unconscious. Oh god. Alright. Oh, there it is. Ancient Evils. Well, at least I didn't not counter the poison in vain. So Mateo's going to use his... he's going to spend a resource and use his Ward of Protection to counter the Ancient Evils and prevent us from losing right away. Buys us around. So basically Mateo just has to get... oh, well, Mateo can't win here, I think. Because since Jim is dead, all his clues go on the location. I think that's how that works. So now that Jim is dead, I think we've lost. We would have lost either way, whether it was the poison or the Ancient Evils. Because, yeah, we would have lost either way. Alright, Mateo gets to go. We'll finish this up, but I think we've lost here. And I don't have enough movement to get back to the camp and resign. So we're just going to have to go down fighting and see what happens. We'll go ahead and invest. Actually, let's play... yeah, let's play a flashlight. 2 clues. Or, 2 resources. Play the flashlight. Gets 3 supplies. So Mateo whips out the flashlight he's been hiding inside his coat. And he's going to use 1 charge to try and investigate this temple. 3 versus 1. He'll commit the Chthonian Stone. 4 versus 1. And we get... -5. So we have to draw this. And it looks like we get a Voice of the Jungle. At the end of the turn, if you didn't explore, you take a whole... Oh my god. So he's got enough horror where I think he'll die this turn. Wow. Torrent of Power. We can use the charges. We'll use all the charges from Clarity of Mind so that we can get a big bonus here. Total of 3 plus the 1, so that's going to be 4 wild icons, which we'll use for intellect. There's 4 intellect, so that will give us a 7. So this test, 7 versus 1. Let's see you now, -5. Yeah, we get it. It's 2 vengeance points, so yep. So we get the clue. So Mateo dies trying. He gets a clue at the temple, but right at the edge of the temple, the Voice of the Jungle calls to him, killing him, knocking him unconscious. So 2 guys wake up at the camp, and they tell Akachi and Agnes and Marie about it. This stupid ancient evils, honestly, that's what did us in. I think this snake is a victory, and then we have these 2, Itaca and this thing, so we get a total of 3 victory points. I don't think there's any others. Yeah. So that's 3 victory points. Not terrible. It's unfortunate that we both get trauma right after the first scenario, but I knew this is a tough scenario anyways. And with the disadvantages we have going in, not knowing, not having built these decks, not knowing who we are going in with first, and also these decks being made for 4 players and only using them for 2-player games, it's definitely providing a bigger challenge than normal. I think overall these guys did pretty well. We got brutally killed at the end. I mean, just chipped away at us. At the end, it was just like a huge uphill battle that just kept getting worse and worse and worse. But we got to the very end. We made it to the ruins, and we were only 1 clue away, basically. So here's the summary. Mateo gets a mental trauma. Jim Culver gets a physical trauma. No resolution. 3 victory points. And 2 vengeance.
Wednesday, July 1st, 1925. I still have no idea how we made it back to camp alive. The jungle was more perilous than we could have possibly imagined. This may read like the ravings of a lunatic, but I cannot explain it any other way. Being lost in the jungle was no picnic, but that was the least of our worries. The rainforest was guarded by unfathomable horrors, serpentine creatures driven by anger and hate, hunting us relentlessly. Perhaps just as deadly were the human natives of the rainforest. They appeared to be Aztec warriors as far as dress and speech were concerned. Despite the conquering of the Aztec people hundreds of years ago, these warriors somehow survived. How they managed to remain undiscovered this long is beyond us. I thought Alejandro would be excited to learn more about them, but he was more disturbed than fascinated. I suppose he has a right to be incredulous. Nothing about this expedition makes sense. The serpent creatures chased us for what seemed like days. Finally, we were able to find our way back to the camp, but the price was steep. We had lost all progress we had made, and many of us were injured or afflicted by serpent venom. We had no choice but to send runners to the nearest city for additional supplies and wait to recover from our wounds. Mercifully, I was able to sleep through each night. However, while my body rested, my mind was plagued by nightmares. A cavern like a gaping maw, bathed in dim red light, the walls slithering with the glimmering scales of 100 vipers. It might have been better had I not slept at all. Most of the nights passed without incident, but on this night, Jim was startled by the rustling of tree branches along the southern border of our camp's clearing. Despite the darkness, he was able to use his binoculars to see the shapes moving in the trees. The shapes appeared human. But why? Why do they only watch us from afar? What is their purpose?
Welcome back, valued guest. Just getting Poncho's pet ready to get sent back to Mexico.
No! Yes, I'm still alive.
You see, I was taking care of Poncho's pet while he was getting the inn all opened up for business and such. He was kind of fat. He was very fat. So I put him on a regimen to lose some weight. He was so fat. And now he's just skin and bones. Ha ha! Ha! Well, hopefully old Innkeeper Poncho is not too mad at us for making him so skinny. Well, until next time, valued guest, have a good night.